you've got a vision for the future that excites you, if you having clients, that's really important. If you've got that plan of what you're going to do to get from where you are to having all those clients, great. But if you don't have it, well, you may not be client ready. Yeah. All right. Business structures. This is having all those pieces in place so that your clients can say yes, like a way for your clients to pay you. I work sometimes with newish coaches or healers, and they haven't set that stuff up. And I invite them, because I use PayPal, I invite them to go get PayPal. It's super easy. Something like that. If you haven't done it yet, you just haven't done it yet. So you may need other types of things. That's on the business structure. Another category is inner readiness, mindset, and magnetism. So this includes things like feeling confident. When you are confident about what you're offering and how it makes a difference in people's lives, oh my goodness, that ups your magnetism like 100-fold. But sometimes you have to work with clients in order to get confidence. So whether you're at a 10 for client ready totally or not, if you're new, you got to get started and just start bringing people in, because as time goes on, you will get more and more client ready according to what I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got marketing and promotion. So this is things like I have 1 to 3 ways for strangers to find out that my services exist. One to 3 ways, so if you don't have those ways, well, you may not be client ready. Okay. So the last one was that's the last one. So I just love this assessment. I will do it for myself approximately once a year, just to kind of go over where am I and what do I need to work on now? Because it really helps me align with that so that I can be that magnet to my ideal clients, and boop, they'll fly to me.
Well, when we're finished with this video, I will go over and add that link in so people can find your assessment easily. Okay. Because it sounds great. And I will take it myself. I expect to get a good grade.
Yeah. Because so let's talk about that. So if we look at the On Purpose Woman Global Community, the main thing that you're doing is attracting members to the actual community. For those of you who don't know, it's just $19 a month or $195 a year. Folks, if you are a woman, solopreneur or entrepreneur, and you want opportunities to be visible, to be seen more, oh my God, you need to join the On Purpose Woman Global Community. If you're cool. If you're not cool, don't join us. But
wow. And we didn't set this up. Kathryn's just really great at shouting out and promoting other people too. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes, but here's a few things about why you are ready, Ginny, and I want listeners to get this. I did have to push Ginny with a few things here. So I'll tell you the things that I see that would help her be client ready. Because that's one of the ways in which I see the world. Boy, am I excited about this. When I get excited, I talk about. So anyhow, it looks like you froze for a second, okay, there you're moving again. So if you go to Ginny's website, she does have a website. It is OPWGC, which stands for On Purpose Woman Global Community. You will see up near the top right a button that says sign up for our e-list or stay connected, something like that, where you can easily get on Ginny's e-list so that you can get information about the upcoming events. It used to not be there, and that was one of the things we need, that up on the top, so that it's really easy for people to find. So when I send them or another member sends people to the website, they can easily sign up for the e-list. That was, in my opinion, like a really basic, easy thing to help you and your business be client ready externally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do anything for the internal stuff for you other than talk to you and say, well, all right, yeah, when you have a member that not that this ever happens, you've never even said this to me, but if you did have a member that pushed your buttons, you might have to process that in order to be open to more members. Mm-hmm. But folks, she's never talked to me about that. So, but that can happen to any one of us. Mm-hmm. That kind of a thing when you're running a business so you could have grown a business and have, like 100 members in your community, and then a few people push your buttons. Yeah, I don't want any more members. And so your number would go down from a 10 to maybe a 6 or a 5, because you're like, I don't know if I want any.
Well,
So
let's stay there for just a minute, because for people watching, are you saying that if somebody, let's say a coach has this client that is just, I mean, the red flags were there, but they needed the money, so they took this person on. Now it's getting horrible. So they finally get rid of this person, and they're like, well, I don't want that to happen again. So rather than going internally and saying, maybe what was it that I was doing, or why did I attract that client in the first place? They're just saying, I don't want anything. And so unconsciously, they could be pushing the good clients away. Is that what you're saying?
yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. So it's important for those of us who stay the, I don't know, I can't remember what the right term is, but stay the distance with our businesses.
Stay the course. Yeah.
Stay the course. Thank you. Stay the course with our businesses, that we have our own ways, or have coaches or colleagues that we can talk to when those kinds of things happen, because the chances of them not happening are slim to none. That there's some sort of that happens along the way that could have you question whether or not you want to keep attracting clients, have you question your abilities, have you question people in general. All kinds of things can happen, and we have to process that. That's part of the personal growth piece of being an entrepreneur. Yeah.
So where were we? We were talking about client ready, still being client ready. You want to say anything more about some of the things that we need to do to get client ready, or are you complete with that?
Well, I want to share briefly what I did today in preparation for this. I work with people in a few different ways. I do private sessions, and a couple different kinds of private sessions. And then I have the Vibrant Entrepreneur Circle, which is a membership community where I provide training. And then I also do events, workshops, and other kinds of events. And so I decided to ask myself, Kathryn, do you want more clients? And the first time I did it twice. I did it for private clients, and then I did it for the Vibrant Entrepreneur Circle. And it was very interesting because my response was different to both. So with private clients, I am probably at about a 60 or a 70, 65 to 70% yes, and around a 30, 35% no. And I listed the reasons for my yeses and the reasons for my no. There's a little bit of a about it. And there's a lot that I love about doing the private sessions. And I can feel even right now, as of this moment, it isn't the thing that I want to primarily do. There's other things that I'm called to do. So it's really interesting how I feel that inside of myself. And I said, well, let me look at the Vibrant Entrepreneur Circle. And Ginny heard me talk earlier today at a On Purpose Women gathering about a shift that I recently had regarding the actual classes that I provide for the members of the Vibrant Entrepreneur Circle. And I just made a shift so that I could get to a yes. And that yes is practically 100%. I asked myself, do I want more Vibrant Entrepreneur Circle members? And I was like, yes. And then I had to, and I wrote why, and I had to actually ask, is there any no? Because I wasn't feeling a no. I had to dig for a no. And I came up with, no, I don't want tire kickers. I mean, I do offer people to be able to try it for $1. So they might be tire kickers, but I want them to be serious triers, people who actually are considering.
Don't take the car out unless you're really going to buy a car from somebody, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or don't take the car out if you don't want if you don't think you actually want this particular car. That's really how I feel.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because I really want, if you're going to try it with the intention of really joining. And then if it's not a good fit, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But so anyway, and then the other one, I did a little digging further because I wanted to, and I came up with, there's a few pieces of my systems of the communication that I need to improve. And there was it was like a sort of a no, because I didn't feel quite 100% ready. I mean, that's not very important. It's just something I need to do. But it was a little bit of that feeling. So that yes is flow, no is something holding us back and keeping us from being totally magnetic.
Mhm.
So we need to clear through those no's to be totally magnetic.
Wow, great example of that. That's how I think we best learn when you're teaching this. You try it on yourself first. You use it on yourself on a regular basis, really, because then you're even better at teaching it to other people, and you know it works.
Mhm,
So that's the beauty of that.
mhm.
So after we become client ready, you say we can energetically tune into our ideal clients. How do we do that?
So I have a few things that I do. One is I'm actually very intuitive. So not everybody is. If you are intuitive, you can feel the one field that we're all a part of and sense your clients out there. Okay. So if you can sense your clients out there, you can kind of feel them coming.
Mhm.
It's like they're right there, ready to come in. You could even see, is there any resistance in you that's getting them in the way, getting in the way of them? So that's one thing that I do. And another thing that I do is I will say to myself some things. So for example, I might say this week, as a person who attracts one or more new or returning clients this week, and then I'll fill in the blank. It's a type of a new story. And when I do that, when I tune into those words, as a person who attracts one or more new or returning clients this week, and fill that in, like I might fill it in with I have sales conversations. I open to ideas to tell people about my services. So I'll fill in the blank. And what happens with that prompt, and I have another one I'll tell you in just a minute, I start to energetically feel people out there in the field coming into my world. And typically someone will reach out, sign up, make an appointment, or actually go and buy something.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So
The other
once you start doing those processes and you start getting clear on your ideal clients and you see them coming and you get excited about it, you're grateful, you welcome them coming, then you start to be more magnetic and your ideal clients have a hard time staying away,
yeah,
right? Because they're feeling the pull too. They're
yes.
feeling the pull towards you. They may not know why they're feeling it, but something's resonating with them.
And in some cases, they've never met me before. And it's not just me, it could be you. I mean, they've never met you before. That if this is happening, it's because we're divinely meant to work together, which is how I think about the ideal clients, is that we're divinely meant to work together. Then they start to see your name or your posts on social media, or someone says something to them about you or me, whoever we're talking about. And then they start to pay attention because there's something in it for them. They feel it too.
And once we're open to all of that, it can come from anywhere then. It can just, yeah, I love it. So how is tuning into our ideal clients energetically different from like having a sales funnel to take them through?
So there's energetically attracting clients, and then there's having sales funnels, and they both are that you can do both.
Mhm.
Really, what I wanted when I said, let's talk about that too. I think what I want to talk about with that is two different ways of thinking of marketing.
Okay.
Because, yeah. Well, let me explain what I mean, and then you can see what lands. So I want to use the example of selling a service that is always available, or with regard to energetically attracting someone now. So for example, I have a program called Speak with Your Body. It's a 9-session package where I take people through a process of breaking free from childhood or corporate conditioning. It's on my website. At any time, someone can start the Speak with Your Body program. And last year, it was one of the primary things that I promoted. And what I would do is in networking events, I would tell people that I'm a vibrant speaker coach and I help women entrepreneurs break free from childhood and corporate conditioning so they can be the fullest expression of themselves. And people would respond and say, oh, that's interesting. And can we have a conversation? And then I would have a complimentary consultation with them and we'd talk about it. And with a few people, I sold that Speak with Your Body program to them. And what was interesting for me in working that way with clients, and a lot of people do that, like they have a program that they're offering, or they want people to sign up for working with them for 6 months or a year and do private sessions with them. And they start with, in the case of coaches, a discovery call. However you describe that process, you might meet someone on a networking event, or they might, somehow find you, go to your website, schedule a discovery call, and boom, there you go. And if you are client ready and practicing tuning in energetically to them, they'll come. Every time you do that, they'll come. Now, for me, I discovered in working that way with the Speak with Your Body program that I didn't really know the people that well who were coming in. So there was a learning curve for me. I am slow to warm up with people. And it's not just friends, it's clients. It takes me a while to get to know people. So I also created a funnel. And a funnel is is like steps that you take people through that are incrementally more pricey and have people get more serious in working with you. So for example, I now have a free Facebook Live tips, 18 tips PDF that people can download from my website. The next step in my funnel is my fun Facebook Live challenge, which I'm doing twice a year. That's $47. That includes a workshop. And if they do all 10 Facebook Lives, a prize of an assessment. The next step is the client attracting Facebook Lives program. That if they do that, it includes a Speak from Your Core 2-day intensive, where during that, I'll let people know about a vibrant presentation program that if they want to do that, they work even more with me and they create a presentation with it. So it's a funnel. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of way to think about your marketing. Both ways are actually fine. There's not just going to networking events and attracting people in to a discovery call. If that works for you and that's the rightest thing, that's a fine way to do this. What happens for me with that funnel process is my potential clients get to know me and I get to know them. Mm-hmm. And in that process, we're discerning whether or not we want to take that next step together. Do we want to dance some more? Do we want to keep connecting? And I like doing that because then the people who actually end up working more with me are people who I really know, I really like. And I think it's reciprocated and it feels super good versus working with a practical stranger and trying to go deep with them.
Kind of like dating, right?
Yeah, it is. So those are two different ways of thinking about designing your marketing. And when you're clear about which way you're working for any particular service or offer or your whole business, then you can energetically feel client ready if you've set it up and just bring people in to whichever way you're doing it.
Yeah, because the energetic piece will work either way as long as you're committed to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does it feel when we're like, there must be a different feeling that we have when we're being that magnet and it's working and people are coming. What's the feeling and what does that feeling then lead to, do you think?
So I'll speak a little bit about my own experience of the feeling, and I'll talk about what I've noticed with clients as well. So for myself, I can not be client ready. I can be in the place of pushing the clients away. And typically that happens when I'm doing a lot of planning. I love to plan. Planning is one of my favorite things to do on the planet. I mean, seriously, I could live practically in planning mode, but planning doesn't pay the bills or put food on my table. And I do like working with clients. Bless you. I saw the sneeze. I didn't hear it. And I do like teaching the classes that I teach and doing the events that I do. Those things are fun for me as well. So if I am in planning mode, it almost feels like there's a bubble around me that's keeping people away.
Mm.
And I have to consciously and intentionally go into the question, Kathryn, do you want clients? And feel like this month, I can feel I want 7 clients to get a package. I mean, maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but something like that. That's what I feel. And I can feel them coming in. And I have to remind myself of that, because otherwise I can default to that planning place and that bubble. And that's my default. I think some people, there's probably a percentage, and it's somewhere between 1 to 5% of the entrepreneurs who I've seen who are in magnet mode. They just attract clients, and it's part of their personality, and they have a deep desire to be of service, and they care, or they're really amazing salespeople. And they love that process, and they're able to really just attract people because they're great salespeople. The majority of us are somewhere under 95% in terms of being in that magnet place. And some people like me need to intentionally turn it on and switch their energetic field from either a barrier, pushing away, to actually attracting and letting in. So I can think of one client right now who has felt challenged with being clear about the service that she wants to offer. Mm-hmm. And that's kept people away. I can think of another client who, for over a year, about a year and a half, she was doing all this stuff for her business. And she wasn't in that letting people in mode. She was in the doing. And a lot of people get into that. I got to get my website ready. I got to write blogs. I've got to do Facebook posts. And when you're doing, that is pushing. You may think that it's actually attracting, but if you haven't designed your marketing from an attracting place, you're just doing it because you think you need to do it, it can push people away.
Oh, so that makes such sense. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to find that balance because we've got stuff, we do have to do stuff.
Yes. And do you find that we fall into those sort of traps, if you will, because we're much more comfortable? You're really comfortable planning. You love planning, but maybe the other stuff is not as comfortable. The doers, let me get all that stuff done because I don't have to think about the client, because clients can say no. What if I put it all out there then and nobody comes? But as long as we're planning, we're doing something. We're organizing our, the whole idea, we got to organize my office before I can start work on something. They're all like procrastination tools that we use to stay safe, I guess, to keep us from taking that risk and feeling scared about, well, what if I build it and they don't come? They're not going to come if you're whining, what if I built it and they don't come, right?
Right. And I appreciate the awareness, because most likely there's something in that for you, because otherwise you wouldn't have said those words. And for other people, it might be, well, and again, they might not have the awareness. I don't want to do it because I might get hurt again because they got rejected or they had a bad experience and they don't want to repeat that bad experience like we were talking about earlier. So there's all kinds of reasons we will default to the thing that we do. I plan, you are doer, you'll do until, and go, well, look how much I did. I mean, you're so cute about that.
Oh, you're talking about me. I didn't realize.
And I love it.
My to-do list, how I'm in love with it, right?
Yeah. So maybe after this conversation, you'll be like, is that to-do list keeping me from being a magnet to my clients? It's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have an event coming up on March 10th that ties into what you're talking about today. So tell us about that event and how somebody can get more information.
Yes, it is March 10th, and it's a Friday in the afternoon Eastern time, and it is the Vibrant Entrepreneurs online event. I'm super excited about it. I will have 3 guest speakers, and I will be speaking as well. And it's a combination of networking, inspiration, and fun for everybody who comes. And the overall theme is we'll be talking about different ways to attract clients. So you're going to hear a little bit from me about being a magnet, but I'm also going to take you on a guided journey to be a magnet to your ideal client. So that's going to be super cool. I have Sophia Wren is going to be talking about writing, and I'm sorry if I'm not remembering correctly, if it's about emailing and writing in your emails, but something about writing and attracting clients that way. I've got someone talking about your social media profiles so that they attract clients. I've got someone talking about selling. So the second person is Sherry Martin. Sherry Martin, thank you so much. And my third speaker is Trish Carr, and she'll be talking about selling without feeling sleazy, I think, something like that. And then I'll come back and talk about, I think, selling when you speak. Yeah, or how to attract clients when you speak, not selling, how to attract clients when you speak. So it's going to be a wonderful event for inspiration and also networking. There'll be 4 networking breakout rooms, 5 networking breakout rooms. So you're going to meet other people. It's only $27. I highly encourage you to go to my website at manifestingclientsacademy.com, and you'll see it under events. Let me see if I can quickly tell you the actual /event. Talk about easy, manifestingclientsacademy.com/event. Yeah, $27. Join us. Are you going to, did you put on?
I'm going. Yes, I'm going. We had your first one in, was that, what day was that, month was that?
December.
Is it December? So you're doing them kind of every quarter, right? Not every quarter, but every third month. And that was your first one, and I spoke there, and it was, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And the breakout rooms are great. Yeah, every quarter, because December was just the last quarter of that year. So yeah, okay, makes sense. Well, Kathryn, do you want to say anything else? Anything you want to add that, maybe make just drive home a point that you've already made?
Well, first of all, I want to say go definitely and get the free assessment, manifestingclientsacademy.com/client ready, and do it, and then email me and let me know what you observed. I'd love to hear how it landed for you. And you can, out of doing the assessment, you can just make a list of things that you might want to work on. In fact, the last page is make a list of 5 action items. So you might like that, Ginny.
Quit picking on me. Oh, yeah. Yes, more things to put on my to-do list. You're right. You're right.
Picking on you. You're too cute.
Yeah.
I'm loving on you, Ginny. All right.
You are.
So in terms of anything else that I have to say, I just want to say I am so excited about this topic. I feel like I've been talking for 30 minutes nonstop without a back and forth, and it points to how fun this is for me. And so, my friends, I really believe it's possible for all of us to be magnets to our ideal clients, for it to be easy to attract them. And one of the challenges is actually crafting the services or the business that you actually love to do, so that you can get client ready and easily attract them and make all the money that you want, and you love your life. So if, when you think about delivering the services, you're like, oh, I don't want to. I just talked to somebody yesterday who said, I looked at what it would take for me to leave my job so that I would make, how many clients I'd have to see. And the way she was looking at her numbers, she was going to have to work 40 hours a week with clients. And I said, we have to rework that. That is not
just
true.
with clients. That doesn't account all the other things you have to do as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I said, no, we're reworking that, because that is not a fun life. That is not a great business model. We don't want to do that. So part of the piece of getting client ready is putting together business model where you're getting to do the stuff that you really enjoy and making the money you really want. And when you've put those pieces together and you've let people know, boom, you get to just bring them to you. How fun is that? Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Okay, well, thank you. I love that you're excited about this topic. I love your enthusiasm. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us because you really know this stuff and you've been at it for a while. So thanks again. And I want to thank anyone who's watching this either live or on YouTube. If you love this interview, you want to share it with your friends, it will be up on our YouTube channel within the next 24 hours. And you can go over to On Purpose Woman Global Community. That's our YouTube channel name. And you can subscribe. And if you want to sign up for notifications, you can do that too. We may be sending you a couple of notices a week or sometimes maybe once a week, not that many. So sign up for those if you don't want to miss any of our new content. And also we have 3 more shows this month. And on Thursday, February 16th, I'll have a conversation with 4 women about the wisdom we gained as we age, called Wisdom of the Sages. On Thursday, February 23rd, Kathryn will talk with pleasure and passion coach Tamara Robertson about how to reclaim your pleasure. Don't want to miss that one. And as I mentioned before, on Tuesday, February 28th, Kathryn will talk with the speakers at her March 10th event about 5 ways to attract clients. You don't want to miss that because that will probably help you decide. You'll see these amazing people and go, I've got to go. It's only $27. I got to sign up for that right away. But you can also go sign up for it. Is it ready to be? Can they go sign up now? You can go sign up now because you've met Kathryn. You know it's going to be great value. And I'll be there. It'll be fun. So thanks, everybody.